Making it mandatory that the government officials must travel with Uganda Airlines. Earlier on, we established the Uganda Airlines as a national carrier. Cabinet took note because we had earlier on made a decision as a cabinet that the government officials must travel with Uganda Airlines where Uganda Airlines is flying that area where somebody is going. In other words, if I'm scheduled to go to Johannesburg as a government official and Uganda Airlines flies Entebbe, Johannesburg as it is, then we are making it mandatory that the government officials must travel with Uganda Airlines. That one. Unless if your destination does not have Uganda Airlines as one of the routes which is being applied by the airlines. And we would want to caution accounting officers in the government ministries and all agencies and departments of government that they should comply with this directive of cabinet. I hope it is very clear that if you are a civil servant or a public official, like a minister or a permanent secretary or a commissioner or any other government, civil or public servant whose travel is being supported or facilitated by government, and where you are going, the route you are taking, there is Uganda Airlines flying that route, then mandatorily you should fly Uganda Airlines. That decision had been made earlier, but we realized it's being flouted in the government departments, and we renewed that decision, and we are making that call firmly that it has to be complied with without fail. The delegation to the UN Assembly. First of all, the records we have don't indicate that the number was 70. I think Monitor, I don't know where they got the list from. It is not true that that list which was published, that all of them traveled. I can, for instance, give you an example. You were saying the ministers who were there. Honorable Museveni, Minister for Science, did not travel, and she was on that list. So I don't know. I challenge one to tell us, where did you get that list from? But also, there were 3 meetings. There was a meeting in Juba, then there was a UN General Assembly, then there was a meeting on SDGs. The one where the Prime Minister went, and then the UN Assembly, the Vice President were there, and she had started with the meeting in Juba. Our stance and position as government remains that we should remain frugal in managing public resources and also managing delegations outside the country. And therefore, we shall continue to ensure that we restrict travels and the government officials only travel when it is necessary, when it is a must. And also, as a ministry responsible for ICT, we've been guiding that in some of the conferences and meetings, they can be attended virtually. Because these days you don't have to physically travel to attend a number of meetings. We always, like at the ministry, attend conferences and participate and make presentations virtually. But I think what made the numbers appear big, but they were not 70 as reported, was because there were 3 separate meetings in the same area. So whoever reported just combined delegations. Like I have talked to the Right Honorable Prime Minister, she has confirmed on record she only traveled with 5 people. Her team, herself inclusive, they were 5. But you, the papers, you are writing tens and tens of delegates. So I think even you in the media should always be fair and avoid being sensational. I'm actually carrying out an investigation. I haven't concluded it. And if I find that the media houses which reported were inaccurate, their reporting, I will take action as a Minister for Information. We have had to postpone the carrying out of the National Population and Housing Census. And we did consider the request from the UBOS in the Cabinet and approved that the next census will be carried out on the 10th of May next year, 2024. There are 2 ways of carrying out a census, but the type we are going to use is what we call we are going to use a method called the de facto method. The de facto method, you mark a census night. So now the night of 9th leading to 10th shall be the census night. So we mark one night as a reference point. And then we count people who spend the night in Uganda on that night. That's the method which will be used. It's called de facto method of carrying out a census. So the night of 9th leading to 10th will be the of May 2024 shall be the census night. And therefore enumeration will start on the 10th. So we shall be counting those who spent a night in Uganda that very night. And the enumeration will take a period of like 10 days. And we declared that day, 10th May, as a public holiday. It shall be a public holiday. We shall still announce toward the time of census, but we took this decision as cabinet that the census shall be carried out beginning on the 10th of May 2024. What occasioned the delay or the postponement are logistical issues which have been sorted out, and we shall be ready when time comes. This is going to be the first census we are holding where we are using digital systems. Because you recall in the previous censuses, we've been manual with questionnaires written on paper, with enumerators moving, with heaps of papers, but now we are going digital. We are going to be using smart devices to gather this information, and this means even the release of results is going to be much faster than it has been in the past, because